everyone, I'm Prakash Narkade. Welcome back to my YouTube channel Automation Talks. Today I'm with one more new video on TOSCA Special Execution Task, where I'm going to talk about retrieving secrets. It can be any kind of secrets, basically what we can store on, say, AWS Secret Manager, or rather it can be any service. What I'm going to talk more about is in this video the approach how we are going to do is, and in the next video followed by this is going to be the actual implementation, how we are going to retrieve the say the credentials or any sort of secrets from AWS Secret Manager. So here I have selected AWS Secret Manager as a the kind of a service offered by AWS, but then it can be in anything, say it can be Azure Key Vault. You can have a similar kind of integration. It is just that your SDK will change, your implementation in terms of how you're going to connect and retrieve, that is going to change. Other than that, it is gonna same. Okay, so in any kind of test automation setup, we often come up with where I have some sensitive information like my API keys or database credentials or some kind of token or passwords, and hard coding of those secrets is not a a secure way and is not a good practice, basically, right? Everyone can read it, everyone can extract it, people can misuse it, and it can lead to breaches and accidental leaks as well. So it's always ideal to store these kind of secrets, a sensitive information, into a secret managers. It can be rather any secret manager, right? Whichever, say, your organization uses right now. So here I'll walk you through on how to use AWS Secret Manager to securely retrieve the secrets for your TOSCA automation scripts. So what I'm gonna do here is, say, we're gonna store the secrets on AWS Secret Manager, and say my test automation script require those secrets for performing the execution. So we're gonna have its implementation. So there can be multiple use cases. So I just tried to get few of the use cases why we should be using this AWS Secret Manager, rather why we should be using any secret manager in your test automation. So the very first thing is secure access control and fine grained permission. So the security principle, you should have a least access privileges. We should not be sharing the credentials to everyone. Credentials should be access controlled, right? And the permission should be very restricted to only the users who need it. The second objective of following these kind of practices, centralized management of multi-project automation suite. Take an example. Say I use the credential, say test@testautomation.com. Just an example. This is my username and I have some password. Now the same user might be getting used into multiple scripts, say, or into multiple projects, or on the multiple applications. Possible, right? That's a test user. I can use it across multiple environments for multiple purposes, right? So if there is a password change, if I'm hard coding it, I would be doing it on n different places. But if it is a centralized management, then it is just gonna one place. Say I store it on AWS Secret Manager, I'll just change it in AWS Secret Manager, and without making any changes into any of the test automation script, it is gonna work, right? So it is very easy for management as well, and basically to restrict the accesses. Obviously, the very important when it comes to audits and compliance, we should not be making our credentials visible. We should be keeping it at secured places, and all those compliance acts we should be compliant with. So at a high level, we are going to store the secrets on the AWS Secret Manager, and we are going to retrieve them from Tricentis TOSCA. So let me go to AWS Secret Manager. So here I have already created one secret called as prod secret vault. So basically I'm on AWS. Let me go to AWS. So on AWS you can search for Secret Manager. Okay, so it's in my recently viewed. So under Secret Manager you can create your secrets. So it's similar to your Azure Key Vault if you're using that, right? So here this is the secret that I have stored, and my secret name is this, and then the secret value is okay. So here is my secret value, right? So let's say this is my password, and this password I'm going to store into AWS Secret Manager, and then this is the password that I'll be using in my test cases. Now I want to retrieve this password for my in my test cases. So obviously I'm not going to log into AWS and then copying it from here and then using it. That's not something how it is going to work. Rather, we are going to write a special execution task to retrieve the credentials from your secret manager. Okay, so let's go to TOSCA, and so this is the special execution task that we spoke in the last video, where we configured your configurations of your AWS environment for S3 bucket, and then the operations, and then we did upload, download, and then delete and all those stuff, right? So it was for performing the operations on S3 bucket. Today what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a special execution task. So let me make a copy of this module. Okay, so I'm gonna name it as let's say AWS Secret Manager, my bad, get secrets. Okay, so this is the module. Now in order to retrieve the secrets, definitely I would be needing the same configurations, parameters, but then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it more generic. Instead of making it as S3, I'm just gonna make it as, let's say, AWS configurations. Okay, and I don't need S3 bucket, I don't need S3 bucket region. Okay, region I would be needing. I don't need the bucket name because I'm gonna work here with secret manager. So bucket I'm gonna delete. So region I'm just gonna rename it to make it more generic. So in order to connect to your AWS instance, I would be needing a region, access key, and secret access. Now how to get it? You can consider watching my video where I spoke about AWS S3 bucket operations. There I spoke in detail about it. So in order to connect to AWS Secret Manager, I would be needing these three stuff. I don't need operations because I'm just gonna perform one operations. Okay, so here only two parameters that I would be needing is, one is definitely output, where I'm gonna store my value that I'm gonna retrieve, and the next one is I would be needing is a secret name, basically, right? So let me rename this to secret name, and then the rest other parameters I can delete. Okay, so a pretty simple model where I have this attribute AWS configurations, where I have the child parameters, region, access key, secret access, and then other parameters as secret name, basically name of the secrets to which I want to retrieve the value, and where this value should be, it should be in the output parameter. Okay, now let us go to its properties. Okay, so at a module level we do set engine. So let me change the engine value to probably the same name what I've given. Okay, AWS Secret Manager get secret, and then special execution tasking. Again, I'm gonna get the same thing, and then the reference library. So here AWS SDK is definitely something I would be needing, core I would be needing, and then along with this, one more thing I would be needing is Secret Manager, okay, which we'll talk about in the next session. But for now, let us have it. So at the module level, I have set engine, special execution task, reference libraries, and at the parameter level, at the each parameter, I should be having this configuration parameter is equal to true. Yeah, it is there, right? For output, the default action mode is going to be buffer, because I know that in output anyway I'm always gonna buffer the values. For secret access, my default data type, I can make it as password, because I don't want to make my secrets visible. So by default, whenever I enter, it is going to be into encrypted mode, right? Not encrypted, but then it is hidden from the user basically. Okay, so this is one thing. So I'm done with the setup on TOSCA side. So in the first video, if you remember, we have attached this .cs file to this. In this video, we are not going to attach the .cs file. We are going to follow the other approach where we will create the .dll file and then put it into tbox home folder. Okay, so I'm done with this. Let me go to Visual Studio now. So the TOSCA special execution task only supports C#, right? So whatever the backend code that we are going to write in order to function this module will be in the C#, and that code I'm going to write with the help of Visual Studio Code. Let me create a new project. Give me a second. Where it is? Okay, yeah. And I'm going to create it as a class library. Let me filter out all the class libraries. Okay, so I'm gonna use the class libraries. Let me get the project name as probably the same thing, AWS Secret Manager get secrets, and this, and then this, and create. So make sure that you have a latest .NET framework which is supporting to your current TOSCA version that you are gonna use. Okay, so my project is created over here. Now few settings that we do before we write the code. The very first thing, we go to properties and assembly info, and here we provide the engine information. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna copy this line. Okay, give me a second, let me copy this line. Okay, so here I'm gonna use engine ID, and this is the way basically how TOSCA understand which DLL should be executed. So engine ID and followed by my engine ID name what I have given in TOSCA. So if I go to module, this is the engine, and I should be using the exactly same name what I have given over here to here, which is same. Yeah, now it is giving me an error. Basically I need to include the libraries. So I'll go to I'll right click on this. Okay, let me right click on the references, add references. So I need to include the libraries that I need for performing all these operations. So the very first thing, AWS core, definitely I would be needing. AWS SDK I would be needing. I would be needing automation base. I would be needing interaction, and I would be needing this secret manager. Now how I got this secret manager, I'll tell you. But right now you can see the secret manager is coming from this my user directory nugget, and then packages, and then secret manager. I'll tell you how I got this, but then this is the library that I'm going to use. I'll click on yeah, I think that's pretty much. I'll click on OK, and I should get an import option now. Yeah, okay, so this one part is done. Okay, so I have added the references, and make sure that for all these references that we have added explicitly from here to okay, so we should set its properties copy local to false, otherwise it will create a multiple copies of this DLL file into your solution folder. So it's better to make it false. Okay, so this is one thing. Now how we got this DLL is go to your tools, this package manager, manage, and here under browse you can type a secret manager. Okay, so Yeah, so you should be using this AWS Secret Manager, AWS SDK Secret Manager. For me, I have already installed, so I don't see this install option, but then okay, let me install. Okay, so once this installation is completed, this DLL will get copied into your the location that I have shown you. So if I go to my user directory, users, my username, okay, it should be under this packages, it should be under Secret Manager, and then okay, that's the latest version, basically what I got a week back. But then you should be going to lib, and then this, and this is the DLL file that we should be using. Okay, that is what is referenced. Okay, so we are good with this. So we had added the assembly info, where we have added engine ID, we have added the DLLs, we have added the references basically, and we should be good to write our code, start writing our code here. Okay, so I'm gonna stop this video here. Probably I'll continue into the next video, where I'll have the code, I'll explain the code line by line, and then we'll build the .dll file of it, and then put it under your tbox folder. Okay, so yeah, thanks for watching, and hope you like this video series where I'm talking about TOSCA special execution task, and let us catch up in the next video. Thank you.